Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1037th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni, and that would be me. Traders, this video being filmed on Sunday night for Trading Monday, that's June 24th, 2013. There is a lot of information coming at you in tonight's presentation. I want you to pay attention to this, traders. We're going to discuss a couple of things that are going on in the world, in our economy, and at the same time, we're going to go over what you see on this board behind me. Before we get started, we know that futures trading can be extremely risky and cause substantial financial loss. If you do not understand the risks behind this game, you certainly should not be trading futures. A stop will certainly help you get out of trouble if you don't know the game. So always trade with stops. What is on the board? Traders, tonight in this video, I want to cover a couple of things. The OTAPMA Magnet. Oh my goodness, we had a video about the OTAPMA Magnet. And in that video, it was just a week ago, I put a video out in front of you, or maybe 10 days ago, and I said, traders, we have the OTAPMA Magnet taking place. We have the leader of U.S. indices heading for OTAPMA, and we believe, like a magnet, it will go down there. If the leader, the transportation average, goes down to my OTAPMA, and if you don't know what that is, OTAPMA is OMNI Trading Academy's proprietary moving average. I put a video in front of you and a chart in that video, and I said, traders, we are going to head down towards OTAPMA. It's the OTAPMA Magnet. Just a moment, I want you to indulge me and take a look at this flashback from a video from a week ago. Buy, sell, what do we care? Traders, a red arrow, why? The magnetic OTAPMA is one reason, and I will show you on charts what that means. OTAPMA is the OMNI Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, and lots of times it makes markets literally magnetic. It pulls right down to my average, so we'll see if that's what's going on. Traders, so there it is, the OTAPMA Magnet. I promise you that clip is going to be really meaningful when we do the chart segment in a few moments. Remember what you just seen. Bonds and gold still top, traders. Round of applause to the Omni. You know, this year we gave Apple to the world. We said Apple is going to top at 685. It did. We gave bonds to the world. We said bonds were going to top. They have. We gave gold top to the world at 1720 and 1680. We called official top. And the gold is still top. Has dropped all the way to 1268 since that call in the 1700s. My goodness, technical analysis. You will see that in the chart segment. Interest rates going up, that is good for real estate traders. I know you don't think that that's the case, and right now the market's coming off because Ben said he was possibly going to start to back off on bond purchases on QE. That leads to higher interest rates, and people think that makes the market go down, and it makes the real estate market go down. I am here to say, traders, I'm 31 years in the business. That is hogwash. If rates start to go up now, people from all over this planet are going to flood into this country and buy everything they can. The people in this country that have been on the sidelines deciding whether or not they want to take out a mortgage, they're going to act immediately. This is not going to knock the market down, the real estate market. It's going to fortify it and make the people who have been on the sidelines go crazy. Now, first reaction is always the stock market backs off when you hear there's going to be a raise in interest rates. Go back, look over the last 100 years, you will see it happen all the time. But almost immediately following the dip, a major rally takes place. Why? Here's one of the things I want to talk about tonight. There's a few things that we'll find out, we'll get to on the board. One of them is this: Ben Bernanke and the possibility of rates going up. Traders, I kid you not, you will find this out. Rates going up is not bad for real estate. It is very good for real estate, especially when they first start going up. It does make the market go down, but traders, Ben Bernanke, the same fools out there are writing letters to me now, and they're yelling at Ben Bernanke. These same fools, when Ben was adding money into the system and said, oh my goodness, the banking system collapsed, the real estate collapsed, I know what to do. And he started flooding the economy with money. And you pundits came out and you were saying, Bernanke, it's the worst thing in the world. Printing money is the end of the world. Bernanke, you are the worst. And I did videos counter to you, and I said, This man is doing everything he should do, and you will call him a hero 4 or 5 years from now. He will be hailed as the hero of Wall Street. Here we are 4 or 5 years later. A round of applause for Ben. Now Ben is starting to possibly raise rates, or at least back off on tapering, or taper off on backing up the markets. And these same lunatics are coming out going, oh my God, Ben, why would you do that? The reason why we want low interest rates is so real estate would go up, and now you're going to raise interest rates. You're wrong for doing that. What do you people want? What, you thought he was wrong for what he did to build up the markets? Now you think he's wrong for what he's doing to back out? When do you finally choose a side? You people who don't believe that Ben is doing the right job, you're out of your minds. You cannot see what's happening before your eyes. Do you think he's backing out of the market now because he knows it's going to hurt the marketplace? You didn't believe him when he started this a few years ago. You don't know what you're talking about, you people who didn't believe him then. Why would you doubt him now? Enough of that, but I'm here to say I was in his corner 4 years ago. Where were you? You didn't understand what he was doing. He did it right. I'm still in his corner, and you're still not. What is wrong with you pundits? I don't get this. Open up your eyes. That's rant number one. Number two is, again, with real estate. I don't know what people tell you out there, but what other game is there in the world right now? Let's call you a fund manager. You got $100 million yesterday to add to your $1 billion that you need to somehow manage in a fund. Where are you going to put that money? Are you going to rush off to China with it? Can you trust it? Are you going to put it in Africa? Are you going to put it in Russia? Is it going into Australia? How about it? Where are you going to put that money? Is it going into Europe? No. If you've got money in this world, you're putting it in the United States, in real estate, and in the stock market. That's where the money comes to. When they raise rates, it floods in. No matter what these people tell you out there, you see how right I've been with these major calls. Don't listen to these lunatics. Our pullback is customary when they start to raise rates. That means we're going much higher. Why do you think they're going to try to raise rates? You think they're going to try to raise rates because they think it's going to hurt the economy? Let's face it. Again, I'm speaking to a lot of you people that don't understand what's going on out there. The guy's been right. Bernanke's been right. When are you going to stand behind him and see if now this is also right? So that takes care of what I thought about Bernanke. What I wanted to mention about interest rates, if you want to know more about that, you come on down to livewithoscar.com. Allow me to teach you what happens when rates get tinkered with. And of course, it's all in the charts. We believe in nothing but the charts here at the OMNI Trading Academy. This brings me to one more topic, and this one I know you traders don't get, but watch. China. China is about to feel some karma that they were not expecting, and I know you people don't know how to see this, but here is what happens. In China, they have so much BS economy. There's so many numbers that are BS. There's so much of it that you cannot believe in, and here's why. They fixed their currency. It's not allowed to move. The Chinese currency is stuck in one spot. How do they keep it there? They have to print their currency every time it tries to go up. They print the currency as quick as they can to keep it down. Do you know what they need to put in a vault every time they print one of their yuans, renminbis, whatever you want to call it? They need a US dollar or a dollar's worth of bonds. They need to have that in a vault. They are on the dollar standard, right? So understand how this works. China watched the United States get crippled while interest rates were going down as quickly as we could. Our banking system was falling apart, and China excelled. Do you know why? Because all the crap that they have to buy and put in a vault in order to keep their currency at one spot was getting cheaper by the day. It was a field day. It was a fire sale. Suddenly, they have a bigger economy than they did when this started, and they still have to keep this thing fixed. How do they do it? Buying our bonds, buying our dollars. What two things are going up right now? Interest rates and dollars. China is screwed, traders. You have no idea how screwed they are right now. They are about to get some of the karma that they were kind of laughing at us on our way down. Remember, the whole way the United States and Europe went down. The whole way China, Asia went up. Now the United States is starting to go up. Where do you think that brings Asia? Mark my words. You people, some of you haven't believed anything I've been telling you for the last 5 years. But I got to say, I know the street well. I've had some pretty good clarity over these last 5 years, and I've pointed every one of you omniacs in the right direction. China, I kid you not, they're in some trouble, and it will not hurt us. It'll help us. Interest rates going up is a good thing for real estate. The OTAPMA Magnet is calling for the markets to go down at least one more day, maybe longer, but at least one more day. And bonds and gold have topped out, and boy, oh boy, do they look horrible. Traders, that was a lot to understand, a lot to swallow. You may have to rewind this a few times, but after 31 years, I kid you not, this is the truth. This is what's going on. Now let's get into some charts. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Okay, traders, the first chart I'm going to show you this evening is the Dow Jones Transportation Average, deemed the leader of U.S. indices. The flashback you seen a few minutes ago pertains to this very same chart. When I showed it to you, we were coming down to OTAPMA. We spent a few days up and came crashing back down. It is now 2 days below my OTAPMA, OMNI Trading Academy's proprietary moving average. And that means this needs to go lower. The Dow Jones Transportation Average now, traders, let me show you something I showed you in my last video. I said to you, listen, everything looks bullish except for something bothering me. I've got this very ugly looking topping pattern in the Dow Jones Transportation Average. I showed this to you in my last video. And I said, look, you have a head and shoulders, an upright head and shoulders, an inverted head and shoulders, another upright, then an upright here. This is a shoulder, so you've got head and shoulders, multiple in the shoulder. The head has a head and shoulders. Then in the right shoulder, we noticed that there was a bear flag, and we were heading towards OTAPMA. And let me tell you, that is extremely bearish. So we, as you know, we've been sellers of the S&P and of the Dow since we've seen this. But this is what brought me onto this, and I told you about this last week. But that OTAPMA Magnet is just incredible. Watch this. The OTAPMA Magnet. If you recall in that video, we were all the way up here, the OTAPMA Magnet. Since then, boom, we went right to it exactly as we were supposed to. That's in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Traders, it's everywhere. Watch this. The NASDAQ comes right down to OTAPMA. I mean, oh my goodness, is that a great indicator or what? Right down to OTAPMA, but there's more. Watch this. Russell 2000 right down to OTAPMA, traders. This was telegraphed how many days ago? You've seen that video. What's next? Look at the emini S&P. Not only do we have a target at the bottom of this yellow parallel channel, but look, even the S&P comes down to the OTAPMA Magnet, kisses it, then starts to flutter. I think what happens today is the exact same thing that you've seen in the transportation average. In the leader, this is a follower. The leader went down lower than OTAPMA. The follower should do the very same thing. Then there's the DAX, even over in Germany, traders. Look at the German DAX. I did a class, a live class on Wednesday or Thursday last week at the OMNI Trading Academy. I showed you the DAX chart, and I said, this, my friends, this isn't your average gap. This is a breakaway gap. This is a problem. Well, it broke down to here. It got below OTAPMA and dropped all the way to here. It is now below the channel. Big channel. You're below the channel. You've got an open gap, like an open wound. You've come down below OTAPMA, went up and tested it, and dropped below this channel. That is very bearish for the DAX. Thank you, OTAPMA. Thank you for pointing us in the right direction. Now there's this, traders. The monthly bar chart on the E-mini S&P. High, this is the year 2000 to 2001. The next high, we all know, the infamous high around 2007. We got above that. This is a monthly chart 1 month ago. It extended itself, hit the top of this channel, turned around, and got into or below these double tops. That, I hope, is only a test of what was resistance, right? Resistance, was resistance, comes back down. We call it support now. However, let's blow this up. Traders, it gets a little ugly. This is a monthly bar. These bars are extremely meaningful. Each green bar is 1 full month in the S&P. You have this black channel. You've gotten under the channel and lower than what would be a triple top. I'm going to blow this up for you one more time. I want you to see the importance here. This is not good. This is not good. We are here now below this channel. I did not want to see that happen. Albeit it's a monthly, so it could take a whole month and be right back up here again. But that is not a good sign for the immediate future. The dollar index, OTAPMA Magnet, but the opposite. Every other market that I showed you came down to OTAPMA. At the same time, the dollar index runs up to OTAPMA. Very, very powerful average. If the dollar gets above that, it will soar. It'll continue higher. And right now, it certainly looks like it will go higher for sure. Then there's gold, traders. We gave you an official top in gold. Once it broke 1720, we made an official call in videos in OmniRex at 1680. We have dropped from 1680 all the way down to 1268 since that call. A round of applause for Omni once again. This very same chart was in a video a couple of weeks ago, and I told you in that video, this is a weekly chart. In that video, I said, this is your death knell. I don't know if you recognize this chart, but it's a chart that was in a video just a few weeks ago. And I said the 200 moving average getting cracked is the death knell. Now, for sure, the top is in gold. And since then, that was at 1450, 1268 since just that day. Plus, we made the topping call from 1680, so far down to 1268. That is an amazing, amazing call, traders. Then there's the bond chart. When you look at the bond chart, you have to recognize what happened. It has topped for a while, and this is why. 3 times a charm. We never get out of this trend line right here. It never gets out of this trend line. But it pops above, goes almost to the bottom. Big, major movement. Pops a second time. Boom, almost to the bottom. Major movement. On the third pop out, it creates a head and shoulders and then dumps to here. Traders, that is the top of a bond market. At least here at 120. At least, I say we go all the way to 109 at some point. But let's take it one target at a time. You've got 135 to contend with. Then you've got 129 to contend with. You've got 118. There's a lot of stuff in between. But we are absolutely topping in bonds. Let's look at something else, traders. This is absolute unequivocal. How many of you remember this chart? It's been in several videos and several classes. Traders, what a classic. I did a class live with hundreds of Omniacs in my trading rooms watching, and I drew bonds on a weekly, and I said, traders, left shoulder head, let's draw in a right shoulder and draw in these red lines. There wasn't a single green bar in here. Ask any of my Omniacs who follow me. I drew a blank circle, and I said, if this fills in, this will be the beginning of the end. Traders, do you want to see what the green bars behind my red bars look like? They look just like this right now. It is almost exactly what I said would happen, and all of this is pure reading charts. I have no crystal ball. Anyone can learn how to do this at livewithoscar.com. So come on down and allow me to teach you how to get these charts right. Let's look. There's more. Traders in the bond chart. The daily now. We did monthly, weekly. Now we're looking at daily. Not 1, not 2, but not 3, but 4 consecutive bear flags in the bond chart. And it couldn't take any more. Look at this. Nosedive into a parallel channel. Bonds are trading right here, right now. We started calling top all the way up here when these flags started to come into play. Look at what has happened so far. That, my friends, is absolutely bear flag syndrome. But don't forget, the whole purpose of this video tonight is to show you this. We got down to the Omni Trading Academy's proprietary moving average in the leader Dow Jones Transportation Average. The followers got down there as well, but the leader went down one more day. The followers should go down at least one more day. Here's what I hope to see. It's very rare that you get down here, and when you do, you always pop out. If you look back at those other charts, when you get to Omni, you go right back up. So the leader went under Omni for one day on Friday. That means we have to go under Omni Sunday night through Monday in our NASDAQ, in our S&P, in our Russell. It doesn't mean it's got to continue lower. This could easily get right back above Omni and back into the bull market we go. So do not fall in love with the downside, but what I showed you tonight is at least enough evidence to know we are selling this market Sunday through Monday. We'll see what takes place after Monday. So, traders, you've seen the charts, and there's my technical argument for the red Omni, which I'm not going to clap for. Now, I will say this. Because we've come down to Omni or OTAPMA and got through it a little bit, you know, it's do or die. This is a do or die trading session. If we burst through it and settle under it today, we've got a little bit of a problem. If we can hold the Omni average on a dip through and get back above it, I think buyers will come out of the woodwork. OMNI always appears when the market is getting ready to do something dynamic, and the OMNI shows up, or the OTAPMA shows up, right at a very important juncture. So pay attention to that. Stay tuned. Come to livewithoscar.com and allow me to show you how to read these charts. Remember, traders, what Ben is doing now, what he did 4 or 5 years ago, and for the past 4 to 5 years has been working. Give the guy a little trust now. If you didn't trust him in the beginning, start trusting him now. Otherwise, you will be doomed to keep repeating the same mistakes you repeated 4 or 5 years ago when you didn't believe your eyes then. So pay attention to what's going on and stop listening to that little man in the back of your head. Maybe he just doesn't know politics and economics well enough. All right. Remember what's going to happen to China, because I don't care what anybody says. China's got to buy our stuff that's getting very expensive to keep their renminbi or yuan in one spot. That's trouble, traders. I assure you that that's trouble. They already had a whipsaw Friday. That interest rates Wednesday, Thursday, Friday almost go through the roof on some of their short-term lending, what banks lend to other banks. China's starting to feel a little bit of what we've seen in 07, 08, 09. Get ready, China, get ready. It hurts. And if real estate goes up, interest rates go up with it, it's a good thing, not a bad thing, but let's stick to the charts, traders. OTAPMA Magnet worked. At least one more day to the downside. I'll see you all at livewithoscar.com. Always remember to keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help yourselves with that is say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll video number 1037. And traders, the OTAPMA Magnet strikes again. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.